global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them. Crises precipitate change.
Secretly plotting your demise. I want to devise a virus.
Hello everyone, Darko 2012 here with Global Government News. I'm reading an article titled Tax Soda Pizza to Cut Obesity, Researchers Say. And there's another article that's related to this, and it says New York Governor Defends Soda Tax. So, I think most of us can kind of admit that this is BS, because this is going off the assumption that the government actually cares about you and your health. And which they don't, and if they did, let's just put it this way, they wouldn't be spraying you, they wouldn't be putting fluoride in your water, they'd be adding vitamins to your water, and they wouldn't force children to take vaccines and these pandemic vaccines in order to attend school. And if they didn't attend school, well, then they're truancy, and then they're have CPS come in and try to take your kids away from you. So, I mean, they don't give a shit about you or your children. And so to say that they're going to tax pizza and soda in order to cut obesity is, like I said, it's just hogwash. So let's not be naive here. Let's just face the facts. The state is hungry. They need money. They need revenue. And so as all these different devices that come out in order to make it easier for police and the state to take in revenue, such as the speeding cameras, they'll do things such as this, and hopefully enough people say no, which I don't think this will pass, but you never know. Hey, maybe they'll fool enough people. It says U.S. researchers estimate that an 18% tax on pizza and soda can push down U.S. adults' calorie intake enough to lower their average weight by 5 pounds per year. The researchers, writing in the journal Archives of Internal Medicine on Monday, suggested taxing could be used as a weapon in the fight against obesity, which costs the United States an estimated $147 billion a year in health costs. While such policies will not solve the obesity epidemic in its entirety and may face considerable opposition from food manufacturers and sellers, they could prove an important strategy to address overconsumption, help reduce energy intake, and potentially aid in weight loss and reduce rates of diabetes among U.S. adults, wrote the team led by Kiyah Duffey of the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. With 2/3 of Americans either overweight or obese, policymakers are increasingly looking at taxing as a way to address the obesity on population level. So, like I said, I mean, the article isn't going to say, oh, the government wants to take in revenue. They're going to try to justify it by saying that the state cares about your health and they actually care about the obesity level, right? They don't. Remember what I said? They don't give a shit. They had what was it, saccharin and those artificial sweeteners on the market that were, they're not good for you. Now they're bad for your health, okay? And the FDA passed it, and they knew about it, and they didn't do anything about it. And then they had aspartame, and that wasn't passed until they tried passing that. I believe it was from the mid '70s at least to the '80s, and they couldn't get passed. And then as soon as Ronald Reagan took office, the first thing he did was change the new FDA director of the FDA, the new head of the FDA got in. Aspartame was passed. It was one of the first things that was done. So it says CDC Director Dr. Thomas Frieden supports taxes on soft drinks, as does the American Heart Association. There are early signs that such a policy works. Duffy's team analyzed the diets and health of 5,115 young adults aged 18 to 30 from 1985 to 2006. They compared the data on food prices during the same time. Over a 20-year period, a 10% increase in cost was linked with a 7% decrease in the amount of calories consumed from the soda and a 12% decrease in calories consumed from pizza. says the team estimates that an 18% tax on these foods could cut daily intake by 56 calories per person, resulting in a weight loss of 5 pounds per person per year. Our findings suggest that national, state, or local policies to alter the price of less healthful foods and beverages may be one possible mechanism for steering U.S. adults towards a more healthful diet. It says in a commentary, Doctors Mitchell Kotz and Rahiv Bhatia of, I'm not sure I pronounced that right, of San Francisco Department of Public Health said taxes are an appropriate way to correct a market that favors unhealthy food choices over healthier options. Says they argue that the U.S. government should carefully consider food subsidies that contribute to the problem. Sadly, there's a quote, sadly, we are currently subsidizing the wrong things, including the product of corn, which makes the corn syrup and sweetener beverages so inexpensive. Says instead, they argue that agricultural subsidies should be used to make healthful foods such as locally grown vegetables, fruits, and whole grains less expensive. Which, who really disagrees with that, I mean, you shouldn't have to have subsidies. You should just fucking don't tax the shit out of people and let them keep some of their money that they earn. And, maybe they'll go out and they'll buy the organic, fresh food, right? But if they don't have that money to go out there and buy the more expensive stuff, which is healthier for them, then that's not going to really help, right? So if the government leaves us the hell alone and lets us keep more of our money and not tax us as much, then we can have that extra money, increase our standard of living, and become healthier individually, right? But if you want to go down the path of having the government do it for you and think that they give a shit about your health, well then, hey, like I said before, I have some land in California for you. Hitler was a good guy. He loved gun control, and he cared a lot about his people's health too. So, of course, I'm being facetious, but I mean this is ridiculous, people. So I'm sure most of you see through it. Thank you.